All right, listen up. Every single one of you come from a line of thousands of conquerors and champions and winners. Okay? So I'm going to chat with you guys and gals a little bit about this today. This is one of these topics. I was in a conversation with a client of mine last night in a video call. In fact, you guys remember client Nick from the vlogs, guy who lost over 200 pounds and was running marathons in his 40s, and I was putting his vlogs up of his training. That guy, we were talking about this. We had a 2-hour client coach call, and I brought this up. You know, we were talking about people talking about blaming their genetics for the inability to accomplish this or that, or their lack of potential, and all of these things, right? And kind of a point I brought up with that, and I'm not saying different people don't have different genetic traits, but what I am going to say, when you look back historically, pretty much all the inferior genes died out. They're all gone. When you look at humanity collectively and you look all over the world, what happened? The survivors, the conquerors, the champions. That's who made it. Okay? That's who made it and survived. Survival of the fittest, survival of the most adaptable. How many generations of humans have gone through this? Let's not even get into any other evolutionary history. Let's just talk about our species, humans. Let's talk about Homo sapien, us. This group. Every single one of you had ancestors who were the baddest. I mean the baddest mofos for hundreds of miles. Okay? Your ancestors probably conquered and destroyed and subjugated everybody around them. Okay? At some point. I mean, it happened in every continent, every area. I mean, even you can North America. Let's even look at Native Americans. Even when other people got over here and found the continent, you had a bunch of war tribes over here who were the baddest mofos, who had pretty much ran everything around them. They pretty much just conquered everything. Comanches, Apache, like these were the dominant groups. Bad mofos. But it happened everywhere. So you go look at each individual section of the world and go look at through the history you can find. Look at all the conquerors. Okay? The weak, they got pretty much killed off. Then we come over to disease resistance. The ability to travel. I mean, my God, step back and look at just the idea of humanity spreading out from a pretty small area all across the world. Like, step back and think about the sort of people who are the ones who decided, you know what, I'm going to branch out. I'm going to explore. Right? Who decided they were going to come across there all the way up into Europe? Conquerors. Who decided they were going to go from the northern part of Africa down into the southern part? Conquerors. People who were explorers. All the way into Asia. All the way across the Bering Strait. Explorers. People who pushed the envelope. And they all went all over the planet. Figured out how to eat, how to survive in harsh, untamed environments everywhere. And they tamed those environments around them and thrived in them. Like, your ancestors, no matter where you came from, traveled from somewhere and thrived. In an area with new foods and plants and animals they had never seen. And they spread out and thrived and adapted and overcame. And then after that happened, as those populations grew, after the weak and the timid and the non-innovators didn't make the cut, then what happened? Populations grew, they warred, they conflicted, they raided each other, all throughout human history. Who was left? Winners. The winners, the conquerors. If every single one of you were to find a way to dig back through your whole family tree and go back 200 generations, you come from a line of absolute hardcore serious savages. You come from a line of people who conquered everything around them. In fact, you probably come from a line of chieftains who probably had a harem of 20 women and were the baddest mofo in the whole tribe. Fathered 20 children. Okay? Think about all that for a minute. Every one of you have at least 100 people like that in your family line. Every single one of us has it in our genetic code. And I don't care where you came from. I don't care. I don't care if you came originally from England, Nigeria, India, right? It doesn't matter. Korea. Okay? You come from the Incas. You come from the Comanches in North America. Okay? I don't care. Step back and start looking. You carry the genetic code for greatness. Like every single one of us come from such a line of just conquerors who did epic, legendary stuff. It's in your family line. That's in your genes. You were born for greatness. You were born to be a winner. You were born to do epic shit. Hey, I don't even care where you came from. If you go back and look, that's your family line. And it's not going to just be a couple of them. You're going to have hundreds of them all the way back. You descend from conquerors and champions, and absolute winners and explorers and innovators who pushed the envelope. There's no excuses. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I'll talk to you guys and gals next time.